lines have broken clear here from Yalis, Invincible Tears, Tiger of Malay. Subterranean's over on the inside, but Converge is well clear near the line, and Converge will romp home the Atkins. Converge by 3.
Welcome to Brisvegas, our Brisbane Winter Carnival show. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm joined by Tommy Turbo, the Windsor Weasel, and Johnny Mcleod from MacBet. And this is our show that we look at all the big races over the Queensland Carnival. How are you, boys?
Just before we start, can I ask Johnny what he learned before race 1 at Doomben there when he was on his little scouting mission in the bushes, filming the power couple of Brisbane racing?
Well, I got out of the car and I looked over and I seen the couple holding, well, more or less holding hands again, and without any implement to find out how the ground was, and I just couldn't believe it. I thought, they looked over at me too, so they knew what I was about when I actually pulled the camera out, pulled the phone out, and took a photo. So,
paparazzi.
Those that have just joined us, we already know about Tom Turbo. He's an absolute creep. And now Johnny McLeod's probably spending too much time with him. They're talking about Steph Thornton and Benny Thompson. Is this an off-again, on-again relationship in the jockey ranks? Fill us in.
Well, no, it's not. I think it's on. It's all on board. But they just, instead of walking the track for a reason of trying to find out where the best part of the track is, they want to go out there and hold hands for a while, just clear the head. It's a classic. It is absolutely classic.
Just sharing notes. I tell you what, if it happened in New South Wales, PBL wouldn't be happy. It's who knows what they're up to. There's jockeys just colluding. But what about the Stradbroke Day last week? What do we learn about the horses like Ayrton and Converge? They both look like they're going places for sure.
I definitely pulled the wrong rein with Port Louis. He did pull up coughing, but all credit to John there. Absolutely savage the line. I'm not sure whether he's up to the other 2-year-olds this season. I dare say if the likes like Anamoe and stuff came up, they would have progressed to a level higher than what Converge did, but I don't really want to take away from his win because it was very dominant in the end. And Ayrton definitely improved up in distance and showed us what the hype was all about.
You definitely jumped off Port Louis at the right time, Johnny. I think pulling up coughing is a good enough excuse. They've basically shut the whole country down and the whole world down after a nasty little cough. So I think you can probably forgive Port Louis once more. But I was really taken by the air of Ayrton. He looks like a real line chaser, doesn't he?
He does. I think the plus in him is just he hasn't grown up yet. His wither hasn't actually come up to his home, so he's got growing to the next 6 months he's going to grow. So that's the big plus. As far as his win goes, I'm sitting on the fence with it. He's beaten Ellsberg, who is definitely a 1,400 metre maximum horse in the yard and on type. And the horse that run third is Mobbuster, who got beaten 3 lengths in I think it was a benchmark 65 at Caloundra the previous start. So if they want to sort of start saying he's a Stradbroke horse or whatever it was, I would say he's a Stradbroke horse next year because he'll build into his own physique. But as far as this goes, I even Glitterstrip got run 4th. I'm just looking at it, God, if they can't beat Glitterstrip over a mile, there's something wrong. We've priced him around about 240. That's what I think he won as a 240 shot and not a $1.60 shot.
So what's that? A little bit of a retrospective pricing. Do you do that on all the races?
Yep, just started doing it. It's a good idea, and I think there's a lot of benefit. There's a lot of things you've got to think about, in doing it. But I think we're around the mark, Tom.
Yeah, we're getting there. Obviously, at Eagle Farm, there's a bit more that you've got to start taking into account now, especially given the way the track played on Saturday. The lanes out wide were well and truly in play, which will be interesting coming to a track like Ipswich on Saturday, given that it's very different configuration, much more tight-turning track. And jockeys like Craig Williams, who rode Eagle Farm very well, have got to change their style a bit. You really have to put your horse into the race at the right time.
He's absolutely on fire, Craig Williams. No doubt he's doubting his credentials whatsoever. But Tofane was a really interesting winner in the Stradbroke. I thought you boys were home and hosed with Vega 1. You would have been counting it.
Yeah, that was sickening. I think Tom, I did hear about the, galloped on or whatever it was this morning from Tony Golan, and he did say that it probably got galloped on in the first 100 metres. So, that's not the best sort of thing that could happen in a race of the Stradbroke who hits the front and it's battling out for something that, if 1400 is as far as he really wants to go. So it has fired him up a little bit. He didn't relax. And I think that's probably caused him to get beaten. I think, the market come heavy for him. He tumbled into about 7-2 at the finish of the thing. And we had the choppies and the toys went out of the cot when it got run over.
You've had a rough couple of weeks, Johnny, but you're definitely seeing them quite well, and jumping off Port Louis onto Converge was the right play. Brooklyn Hustle, I thought it was a pretty good win, but those mares races, aren't they? They're funny. You're probably going to get a different set of results in the Tats Tiara as well in a few weeks' time, aren't you?
Yep. Brooklyn Hustle it looked like she was running on dead set concrete there in that last race. I thought Madame Rouge was home and hosed. I was counting the money at the 200, and then she just kind of peaked on her run. I thought Ann was very good, albeit in the right lanes, but she was coming off a fairly long break. But Brooklyn Hustle with Craig Williams, who had the hot hand on the day, rode a treble, just coming in that outside lane, just swooped over the top. It was definitely a dummy spit by me. Threw my hat across the betting ring area we were. It was just, I wasn't happy. Threw it on the ground after, just dead set. I was just in a world of pain after that.
It's a tricky one, that, but maybe Craig Williams can give Benny Thompson and Steph Thornton some tips on walking the track, and maybe they're better with a ski pole, or to take their lessons from Craig rather than the holding hands. You'd think they'd have enough time outside their riding hours to get the HH in. We're going to talk a little bit of racing on this show about this Saturday at Ipswich. It'll be the white shoes and the white leather belt gang out there at the Wild Wild West in Ipswich. But we're going to have a look at all the quaddie legs races, 6, 7, 8, 9, the Eyeliner, the Ippy Cup, and the Gay Waterhouse Classic. And let's have a look before we go to a break at race 6, the first one here. And odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now is Desert Lord has been the one they've backed, $3 into $2.25. Phantom Falcon $3.70. Dr. Why Not $5.50. And outside the market there's been money for one. Snow Valley's been 17 into 13. And from the Steel Ryan yard, back in the old days, I can remember a couple of big plunges from this stable for sure. But the replay we're going to have a look at is Desert Lord. Talk us through this one.
Yep. So this is Desert Lord. I think he's at the back with Steph Thornton. The blue and the white colours come to the far outside. This was his final run of his preparation last time out. I'll just quickly add in, Scoot, you were spot on there. White belt, white shoes, the full Tara Cash kit. That'll be out there on Saturday in full force at Ipswich. This run here was at Doomben. This is a run.
Wow.
It was absolutely unbelievable. That's Roman Norris who actually beat him, but not a lot of horses at Doomben can do that, let alone you'd think coming to a Class 6 here. I know that was a similar grade, but Class 6 horses just don't do that at Doomben. He's coming off a 140-day break or something like that, but and 1200. But Van Dyke runners fresh just go like absolute bombs, especially the speed on here. I think Maloney can just land midfield from gate 6. I think you got Dr. Why Not coming across from the wide gate with Matty Wishart, the apprentice. You got Kate Cowan on Snow Valley with 51 kilos from gate 7, Exactamonte. They'll all be pushing forward, and I think there'll be a pretty genuine clip. The only other horse who I think could possibly graduate from Class 6 grade is Phantom Falcon, but from gate 1 with Ronnie Stewart, there could be a few road bumps in the way or a really strong tempo. So I'm going to be looking for a horse midfield running on, and that's going to be Desert Lord.
Oh, sounds like a safe way. Ex-Sydney horse, Desert Lord, and I remember, I think last preparation or the one prior to that, as soon as he hit the scene in Brisbane, he just went bang, bang, bang and returned to some of his old form. So might be the early banker in the first leg of the quaddie. We might take a quick break, and a big thanks to our sponsors, puntingform.com.au. You just saw Tommy Turbo. He uses the Punting Form speed maps. Their sectional times database is as good as any in the market. They not only do Australia, they do Singapore and Hong Kong too. So we're going to have a quick break and then we'll come back with the Ipswich Cup preview. Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show, brought to you by TopSport and puntingform.com.au. We're going to have a look at the Ipswich Cup. Odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Lure Me In from the Scone Cup is $4.20 favourite. So You Win $4.40. In Good Health $6.50. Humboldt Current $9. The Lord Mayor $11. No rider mentioned there, so likely scratching. We do notice that it's in Sydney also in the Mcleod Cup, and then Inverloch $13. And the replay we're going to have a look at is Traduce, which has been $17 out to $18 in the white silks here. Take us away.
Yeah, he's back on the fence in there. He's out wide, isn't he? Coming out wide, sort of thing. Oh no. He's on the inside. This is the preview. This is his last start. This is the worst part of the track on the inside. Now, he came back in distance. This is the day incentivised. It's just a really nice horse, incentivised. But he came back in distance. He found the fence in the worst part of the track. And he just plugged. But I think it was more or less a barrier trial, really, for this sort of race. And his previous run, it was a good win over 2,200. He just gobbled them up down the outside and he hit the line good. He's an up-and-coming type of stayer, and why I'm sort of leaning his way is just the odds. And I think everything in the market is pretty much, they're all okay horses, but nothing flash. They're beatable types, and there's solid speed up front. In Good Health, going to probably hold the lead, and then you're going to have Inverloch pushing forward, and even Made of All has got some speed, and Flash R, he's been racing over 1,000 metres sometimes a couple of starts ago, so it's going to show some speed as well. So they're going to roll, and horses usually get going around about the 600 here and make it a real hard test. And I just think Traduce, if he's tucked in behind and got that 2,200 metre run, under his belt, he's just primed for this race. So just, I'd love to finish the race off just a touch better the other day, and then I would have been very keen. But I'm sort of, I just think at the $18, I'd rather back him than a horse like, Lure Me In, which was in the better part of the track and its favourite. So he just battled away the other day. He was probably on the worst part of the track, but there was another horse just in beside him that came to the line better than him. So, there's reasons to pot a lot of these horses, and I'd rather back a horse around the $16 mark.
Yeah, pardon me. I thought Lure Me In and So You Win were a little bit chinky, and I've bet a lot into this Ipswich meeting over my sick career, but Inverloch was the horse that sort of caught my eye, Johnny. But I don't think top weights have a really good record in the Ipswich Cup. But this horse burns along in front, and if they leave it alone in front, he's a tough bugger, this horse.
Yeah, but the only thing is, I don't think he can lead. I think In Good Health will kick up. He led over a mile or something the other day. He's going to the 2,100 now, and he pulls. So even if they come out a little bit soft on him, which they can't from the 7 gate, but they've got to go forward a little bit, he'll roll, and then the other one's going to have to work around him if he wants to find the fence. And it's just going to play into the hands of something midfield, or the horse, even midfield back that's going to be jumping on the back of something that's trying to work into the breeze, because there's going to be some good breeze down the side of the track into their face. And, I don't want to be working up the front up there and the horse is chasing wide. I want to be the one just getting a nice suck.
It definitely looks a race where you could take on the favourites, so you might be right. And Traduce, don't have to have much on at the $18. Nice little each way play. Let's have a look at the eyeliner over $13.50. It's another listed quality, and odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Amish Boy didn't get a run in the Stratty, $3.90 into $3.80. Axe from the red hot Michael Costa yard. I saw an amazing stat of how many winners he's got in his last 30 starts. It's incredible. Nearly every second horse that he takes around has won. Groundswell at $7. Tommy Turbo tipped this last start and it got narrowly run down. Boomsara $10. Snitch $15 and Stampy $17. The replay we're going to have a look at here is Snitch in the red and white silks. Take us away.
So Snitch is the one that's 4 or 5 back on the fence with the white cap. This is actually the race Superior came out of and won on the weekend. Funnily enough, I found Ben Thompson a fair bit on this card, which is, at first I was a bit worried, given his recent form. He put in a few shocking rides there yesterday at Doomben. But when I look at the jockeys at this card, there really isn't many to choose from. Like, you look at the top ones, you're probably looking at Craig Williams, he's A, and then you got Frad Maloney, Jag, Guthman, Chester, I guess, and Thompson, and that's really it. Brad Stewart has a few rides, but there's a long tail here. So Snitch was resuming there off a long break at 1,200 metres. He had to go back from the wide gate. I think from gate 1, he can posse a bit closer, maybe 3 back the fence. I really liked his return there with 58 kilos, drops to 54 here. Last preparation, he went a bit off the boil, but I really liked his trial coming into this prep. And at $15, the gate, I think the projected tempo should be okay. I'm just looking at the field now. I think Groundswell's actually been scratched, but Mashani Hustler should set a good enough clip with Boom Sar and Axe coming across from the wide gate. So hopefully there's a bit of speed on for something midfield to be charging on late. The worry with Amish Boy I have is coming from Eagle Farm and those bigger tracks to a tight turning circle like Ipswich. He's going to need the pace on, and Craig's really going to have to put him into the race at the right time, especially if Groundswell's been scratched. That brings a little bit of tempo out of the race, so he's going to need a few things, even from gate 5, to go his way.
Literally 5 minutes ago, Groundswell's just come out of that race. Seems a tricky one, Johnny Mcleod. This the listed quality. I'm not sure that Amish Boy's in really well here with the 58 kilos.
No, but he's, everyone is going to see what he did the other day, against that horse, Chalk Net or whatever it is, and it's come out and won. So he's, he's given Newton 6-7 length start in the worst part of the track and nearly running to a head difference, So everyone's has seen the run. Everyone can, make their own mind up on whether he went good or Ayrton was a bit ordinary second up. It's just a matter of which way you go with that. But I do think Amish Boy will be charging. But I like Tom's, idea with Snitch. He's come in the worst part of the track that day as well. So he just needs the speed to be there. Like it is a bit of a pain with Groundswell coming out. That's because he's the one that could have been pushing up. And, I think Axe a couple of starts ago, he would have normally just rolled, but he did, lead or run second. He was running second in a slowish run race when he won at Doomben, wasn't it, Tom? And so they didn't go that quick that day.
Yeah. I think he just hit the next start. And that's when he got, that was in the Tafani race, but Tafani was carrying 60 kilos that day, but he did finish off well in the Costa yard, as you said, Scoot. They're absolutely flying. Whatever they're feeding their horses, I need some of it.
Sounds like you need a COVID test as well, Tommy. You got the Hollywood flu.
Yeah, I'm just so fragile. I just need some.
You need to keep betting. You just need to stay calm and keep betting, mate. You need Kyle Wilson-Taylor to dig you out of the mire.
They're driving me crazy. That's why. They dead set driving me mental. Like, I think I backed Mark Duplessis last week, and I was blaming him for losing. But I had a look this morning. He's gone 88 rides without a winner, so I've only got myself to blame there.
Is that right? 80?
Yeah.
Holy moly. Nicely done, Caesar.
Geez, you're a believer, Tommy. You'd be the last man on the Titanic, I would have thought.
Oh, far out. I'll keep going. I'll keep betting, but you can't stop me.
I think you only lose when you stop. A wise man once told me, but make sure you're gambling responsibly. It's a nice segue into the... maybe I'll take a break, will we? We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll preview the Gay Waterhouse Classic and we'll see where the early money's gone at TopSport. Welcome back to Brisvegas, our Queensland Winter Carnival show. I'm your host, Scoot, and we've got Tommy Turbo and Johnny Mcleod taking us through the quaddie legs here, going value hunting after the first shorty in the first leg of the quaddie. And let's see what we've got in the Gay Waterhouse Classic. The odds courtesy of TopSport on the screen now. Lillian Moore, $4.40. Boomtown Lass, $4.60. Intrepidation, $8. Nidalp, $9.50. And the replay, we're going to have a look here. We're going deep into the archives. Red Stina, it's already been 71 into 34, but this is a run back in October. It's first up effort last time. Johnny, it's out the back. Out wide.
Yeah, the widest runner, and then he just checks him off the heels of something in front of him about here, and eases. And then this is 13.50 first up, last preparation. Now, then he gets at him, and he just finishes the race off nicely after being really wide, working, and he just, he's charging sort of thing. And there's some nice horses. Fisticuff's inside him and goes pretty good. And there's some nice horses in that race. And his last start before a spell was probably his best, and I love that. Horses going out on a peak. 1,200, I definitely prefer 13.50 first up, but he was $70, and I think that's huge. It's trial, solid speed up front. They're going to go here. Boomtown Lass has got speed. Neardorf, they put the blinkers on him. He led a trial. Lily Moore just knows one thing: go to the front. Trepidatious has led his last couple, and Skylease has got the bad gate and going to have to press. So you're looking for that, where I say a can area, and back and in that area. And as I said, the wind in their face down the side, they work, and just hopefully this horse can just tuck in behind something, track up, come to the outside. And at the big odds, I'll keel over if it gets up.
Yes, 71 into $34. So you're not the only one that's found this horse. And when you sent through the replay, I thought to myself, Johnny, you're absolutely crackers here. Because I fast forwarded to the last 400, but then I went back to the start of the race, and this poor horse was posted 3 or 4 wide the entire. So I wasn't entitled to do anything at all. So you might have found one here, but the horse I liked here was Boomtown Lass. Can it pinch this one? It looks like a class runner to me.
Well, it's going to get, if he comes out with the intention of just sitting in behind the speed, I think he's got a chance. But if he pushes, which Shulman doesn't usually do, I suppose, he's going to, or she's going to get the right run. He's going to have to need luck, because that inside part of the track, hopefully the leaders will be coming back on those horses inside, and they might just get shuffled back at the wrong time. And I think you want to be horses 4 or 5 deep, tracking up behind something that's going to be the right horse. So she's going to need a little bit of luck and a good ride. Orman, he rides good, but he's a terrible bias jockey. But he does ride good. So, he's going to have to be on his game, that's for sure and certain. There's another horse there I thought had a chance, Gemma Scotland. Like, the problem with it, if he had freshened this up going into this race, he's coming off, but he went from, I think, 13.50, 1400 to a mile the other day, and now he's back to 1200. Like, if he had just dropped off the mile run and freshened him up, giving him a couple more weeks off into this race, well, with all the speed, he's a nice horse, but back problems and all that sort of stuff. But he would have been charging, but now, as he's going to lose his turn of foot, and I just see Scissorhands is on him as well.
That's Mark Duplessis. That could be Tommy. Imagine if Tommy's not on him coming to last at Ipswich, and he's done his life, and next thing you know, up Bob's Gemma Scotland.
What about a horse like Socialising here? I know she went bad last start, but that was at Eagle Farm, and we saw last preparation. She was on the fence there behind horse like Ethereum. Boomtown Lass had a big flop there. She didn't finish off at all. 3 weeks later, come out at Doomben and put in a really nice run there. What do you make of her chances, Johnny?
I wanted to do something a little bit more than she did the other day. You know, she was in the worst part of the track, but the horses in front of her ran away from her. You know, so that was the real problem with it. You know, it's just a matter of whether you say, okay, Eagle Farm, totally against it. You know, and there are definitely horses that don't handle Eagle Farm. So, but this is probably not one of them because it's won at Eagle Farm. So I'm just thinking it may not have come back. You know, I've got it $20 and it is $20, so it's not out of it. I think the real, you know, pain horse for me is Intrepidatious because his run 2 starts ago was quite good at Doomben. Then he came out at Eagle Farm and went like a busted. So, you know, do you just sort of put the white flag up on it? And I'm trying to put the white flag and say it can't probably win just because it's going to sit on the speed. But I'm not going to be surprised if it turns things around because it's coming off Eagle Farm. So, but I think this is a lovely bet, Red Stina. You're going to be sick in the run. You're going to be giving them 8-10 lane start or whatever it is. But holy moly, you know, it's 71 and of 31. It might be all my money, but that's why I'll be keeling over if it gets up.
Yeah, our Sydney viewers are saying, what about Lily Amore?
Well, the pace, and I think the 1,200 metres is its limit. You know, 1,100 metres rolling along, it seems perfect distance. 1,200 metres is its limit, and with the 1,200 metres with speed right on, you know, having to kick up on the outside of Meerdorp and maybe Boomtown Lass, and then Kylie's putting some pressure on it from out wide, and possibly even Trepidatious. You know, it's a little bit of a suspect. I've definitely got it right there. I've got it market, and I've heard it. So because of the 1,200. So if the speed is not as strong, and for some reason they all think that there's lots of speed on and we're going to not go real quick, it will probably win, or Boomtown Lass. One of those two will win because they're going to get they're going to be there, and mine can't win. But if they, on paper, there's speed to burn here, so I'm just hoping. I'm hoping that no one.
Oh, that's all we can do. I think you're due a bit of luck, mate. You've been seeing really well, and you've had some just absolute cruel beats. But that is what makes us punters resilient. Let's have a look at the TopSport Big Bets from the early action and see if we'd like to pinch some tickets here. The first one is race 6, number 3, Desert Lord, sitting pretty here, 2,000 at 290. Beautiful. Into 225, and Turbo wants to launch it in the first leg of the quaddie, so that's definitely one that we'll take there. And then race 8, number 2, Amish Boy, who we've already discussed, also 1,500 at $4. There'll be some slight deductions there, but now it's 320. Especially with that breaking, scratching of Groundswell. And it is another horse that many people are likely to find. So interesting action there. It's going to be, it's always a great betting day, I find, Ipswich. And if you dig through the form, you can definitely find a couple of big price winners, that's for sure. And there's a couple of other interesting runners on the card earlier in the day. So make sure you get around racing in Queensland and bet on Ipswich this Saturday. And if you want the boys' latest insights and race to race, macbet.com.au, Johnny?
That's the place. We're going last Wednesday, or yesterday wasn't that crash hot, but we're out to fire back here. I've had a shave. I've turned around on the left foot and done a pivot, which I don't usually do real good because the ankles don't. I'm not the best, but I've tried everything in the book to turn things around since yesterday. And Red Stina, go you little good thing.
Fingers crossed. Tommy, I think you need to go get a COVID swab, and you might just do a full body checkup while you're there. You could have anything, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Cheers for the advice.
All right.
Hey, Tom, can you please back Gemma Scotland the last race? I fear the worst.
I'll back everything.
All right, we might be unofficially on Mark Duplessis watch, and let's try and if you're listening out there and you can find Mark Duplessis' next winner, tag in at Little Birdie podcast or at Little Birdie TV, And we might try and send you a prize if you can find the next winner that Mark Duplessis is going to ride. So I think he's, Norton 88 according to Tommy Turbo. And it was funny that you mentioned Gemma Scotland. I think I picked it up two or three starts ago. I thought, gee, that was a nice run, and that used to be a good horse, and must have just had a couple of setbacks. But it'll be doing very well if it carries Mark Duplessis and Tommy Turbo's money, that's for sure. All right, that's a wrap from us. We've got 2 more shows to go. We're going to go through right until Caloundra Cup or the Glasshouse Day. That was where the mighty Winks come out and won the Guineas up there. So make sure you stick around for the next couple of weeks. The Brisbane Winter Carnival just keeps rolling on. And make sure you follow us at Little Birdie TV. We're in the Apple Store, Spotify, and SoundCloud, and on YouTube if you want to watch the replays. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Good. That's good. It's all.
Yeah.